All right, everybody. Tonight we are talking about wine with tomato dishes. Does the type of wine change that you pair with a tomato based on the type of tomato or how it's prepared in a dish? That's what we're going to discover. And if you're catching this on the replay, please in the comments type the word replay. I love knowing who catches this on the replay versus who's here with me live now. And if you are here with me live now, let me know you're alive. Type in the comments live, or even better, what city you logging in from? City, state, province? What's the weather like? What's in your glass? Anything you want to let me know, just let me know you're alive. I'm Natalie MacLean, and I host these gatherings every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's Toronto, New York time, where we gather and talk about the most interesting topics in the world of wine, whether it's food pairings or celebrity gossip in the world of wine, or different issues that come and go. So I am going to pop over to Facebook and find out if I'm actually talking to myself or if there's anyone here as well. That's always a fun thing to know if the tech's working, but I've learned to just roll dice with tech. Let it happen because it will if it wants to. It won't if it won't. So I would love to know your favorite wine for tomato dishes. So tell me that in the comments. Let me just mute myself. Grace Fostenson, hello from Calgary. Grace, I'm so glad you're here with me. What's it like in Calgary? We've got a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in Ottawa. It was like 18, 19 degrees with some wind, and just I've got the window open, the breeze is blowing over, and I wish it was like this all year round. Everything's in full bloom. That's why I love fall, and September in particular. Everything's in full bloom. Everything smells so sweet. It's sort of sweater weather, although I don't wear sweaters because I overheat too easily. But anyway, way too much info. So, Lori and Silvio are here in Kingston. Gorgeous fall evening, isn't it? Isn't it, Lori? Oh my God, I love this. Mark Davis with Tango Tours in Sacramento, California. Mark, how is the air there? Is it clearing for you? I've been thinking a lot about California and just, oh my gosh, those wildfires. That's just, let us know how you're doing and how the state is doing. Joanne is here from Nova Scotia. You survived Teddy. Tell me, Joanne, I've been going back and forth with my mom on email. She lives in Halifax. She said there was high winds, but it hit Sheet Harbor and then went north, I guess, heading out to the ocean in PEI. So, Joanne, tell me, did you lose power? Obviously, you're here, so you recovered, but was there much of an effect? You're close to Amherst, I think, Joanne, if I remember correctly. Not that I trust my memory these days. Don Dawson is here from Oshawa, drinking a Peller Cabernet Merlot. Don, how are you? Good to have you here. Do you have a favorite wine for tomato dishes, Don? Karen Mitchell is here. Hello, Karen. All right, what's in your glass, my dear? And Peter Nielsen is not drinking but listening. Been staying been staining the cottage deck all day. Wow. That I was going to say, are you high just from the stain and therefore you don't need wine? Just kidding. Making supper now. Yes, the weather was gorgeous and the colors are coming alive. Love that. Jim Roy is in Stittsville. Hello, you're trying the Green Lane Merlot. Jim Roy is one of my new students. There are a number of other students already here. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, Jim. Shower Jim with love and virtual high fives. And as always, find someone's comment in the comments and comment on their comment, because that's how we get the conversation going around this virtual table. So, I'm going to be talking about wine with tomato dishes. Hands up, or say emoji or hi if you love tomatoes. I love tomatoes. This is the season for tomatoes, that chin-dripping goodness of a ripe tomato. Such a different animal almost from those little round pellets we get in January. So now is the time. Carpe diem, carpe your tomatoes and enjoy them, right? Joanne, overblown if you ask me. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, Joanne, my sister's in Amherst. High winds, lots of rain, didn't lose power, good to go. Great. Yeah, so far so good for my mom. Thank you, Joanne. Mary Ellen is here. All right. And Mark Davis is in the house. The air is better today. Oh, right. But the winds will change on Friday and the smoke will return. We had 3 weeks of only smoke without seeing the sky. Oh no. Ugh. Cynthia Johnson is here from London, Ontario, my alma mater town from Western, enjoying the in vivo Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah, we tasted that last week, Cynthia. That was so good. Ralph and Elaine are here in St. David's. St. David's, home of the new Taco Bell Pinot Noir from Queenston. What a revelation. Have you tried it yet, Elaine? It's actually a good Pinot Noir. That's not what we're talking about tonight, but I thought it was actually very good. Dawn, Queenston Mile Red is one of my favorites for pasta and tomato dishes. All right. Jean Marie. Am I saying it right? Jean Marie, I'm so glad you're here. It's fantastic. Do you have a favorite tomato wine, Jean Marie? Karen Mitchell just ran in the door from work trying to decide on the last of a red blend. Izumi Red from Between the Lines. Oh, Niagara. And I have open already, or Goats de Rome Rosé. I love the humor of Goats de Rome. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ooh, lovely. I love that graphic. Grace, all the tomatoes. Love tomatoes, don't ya? I mean, they're just Mother Nature's gift. I know they're fruit, but they don't taste sweet to me. Like, I always didn't get my head around fruit versus veggie, but tomatoes especially, well, I actually like them raw and cooked. How about you? Like, when they're cooked, you get this savory umami, that savory goodness, and the lycopenes, which are really good for you, but I think I could live on tomato sauce if I were stranded. Tomato sauce would keep me alive. Dorit, hello! Hello back to you! Looking forward to the session. All right. Elaine, no, sold out. That's right. That's right, Elaine. Okay. Let's dive into this. And folks, if you're just joining us now, please type in the comments. Where are you logging in from? What's in your glass? Or if there's nothing right now, what have you enjoyed lately in terms of a wine? Just say hi. That's all. I want to hear from you. No biggie, no complex, whatever. Statement on wine. Elaine, we had some Stratus Sauvignon Blanc with pasta and fresh tomatoes bursting. Oh, mushrooms and shrimp. Donna Stark is in the house. Glad to catch us live, watching from Florida Keys. Hello, Donna. We've been doing some tastings online with our local place, and I found a new favorite. Oh, do tell. Share, Donna. So let's start with one of my favorite wines with like even raw tomatoes. So raw tomatoes have a definite edge of acidity and just tartness. I mean, even as I talk about them, my mouth's watering. But one of the wines that I like with a lot of veggies, I know tomatoes are fruit, but whatever, is Sauvignon Blanc. Tonight I've got Villa Maria. It's a reserve, fancy pants, Sauvignon Blanc, but it's got the nervy, edgy acidity for tomatoes, even when they're raw. Other veggies, hot tips, salt your tomatoes, and that will soften the perceived edge of that acidity. Ting, let the tasting begin. Anybody else a fan of Villa Maria? That's so beautiful. It's just playing up and down the sides here with the acidity. I am wearing my glasses because I want to see all your comments and not strain. But I'm going to keep my head kind of tilted down so you don't get this kind of reflection. Okay. So I find Sauvignon Blanc is terrific with, hello, Wendy from North Vancouver, and Donna is drinking Predator Lodi Old Vines Inn. Amazing. That's fantastic. Karen Mitchell, you're almost all the way through your tomatoes. Grilled or roasted is your favorite. I know. And then they get this caramelized, softened edge. The acidity is no longer, but they get this rounded, umami, beautiful flavor. Diane is here from Texas Hill Country. Diane, I'm so glad you could join us. Are you drinking a Texas wine? Do you have a favorite wine for tomato dishes? Do you have a favorite tomato dish, Diane? Let me know. Yeah, we'll hear children, dogs, and neighbors out there because I've got the window open. Breeze is coming in. I love it. So nice. Folks, I'm forgetting myself to do the little bit of promo, but If you are interested in learning about food and wine pairing, please take a moment and register for my online wine and food pairing class. It is free. You can choose a time and a day that works for you. Those kids are just hyper tonight. Um, so I will post a link in the comments here. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. We do the 5 wine and food pairing mistakes that can ruin your dinner and how to fix them forever, because I believe in happy endings. And it'll tell you more about my in-depth online wine course. There are many students here tonight. They can tell you whether they like the course or not. Presumably because they're here, they like the course, but I will let them speak for themselves. No one has been paid or sent wine to talk about my course. Okay, cool. Good. I love when you're commenting on each other's comments. Do that. Good one, Dorrit, for Elaine. So please keep talking amongst yourselves. That's how we get the kitchen table chat going. Wendy, what are you drinking? I want to know. Joyce Davis, Sangiovese, absolutely with tomato. See, the common thing there, Joyce, you're right bang on, with a tangy Italian red, tangy meaning another sort of word for acidity. The acidity, you need acidity in wine when you're talking tomatoes, especially raw tomatoes. That acidity does start to soften as you cook, but I can't think of a better wine on the white side than Sauvignon Blanc, which does have an herbal nuance plus acidity. I'm going to have to start talking to them. I think they think they're watching a tasting out here on the street. Anyway. Love that. So again, anybody familiar with Villa Maria? This is their high-end label. Okay. Isa is here from Sudbury. All right. Ici, Nord de l'Ontario. Don't encourage me. I have a very mauvaise French accent. Isa, what are you drinking tonight? Christine, finally connected, drinking Aquinas Pinot Noir from California. Do tell. I haven't tried that one, Christine. Do you like it? Pinot Noir is another great wine for tomato dishes because it has, fill in the blank, great acidity. Now, sometimes if the dish is really strongly flavored, you know, maybe it can clobber the Pinot Noir if it's delicate, especially like if it's from Burgundy, Old World. But you're drinking California Pinot, which will have the acidity usually and more hefty flavors, the berry cherry going on. So it should be good. Donna, where am I broadcasting from? Donna, I'm here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. My students, though, for my courses come from all around the world. Where are you logging in from, Donna? I want to know. Oh, you probably told me. I'm just reading these so quick. Now, you did tell me back here. Ah, the Florida Keys. That's right. Good. How's the weather there? Have you had any tropical storms, or is that other parts of the state, Donna? I have students from Florida, Donna. We have a lot of fun. All right, Lori just got back from Comics, BC. Didn't see the sun once because of the smoke. Consoled ourselves by visiting 3 wineries, 2 breweries, and a distillery. Ugh. Lori, I'm sorry to hear that. Which wineries did you visit? And what were your impressions? Positive? Let me know. Let us know. Where should we go when we're in BC? Oh, here's Joyce with a non-paid commercial. The course is really worth the time and money. All right, Joyce. Your bottle's in the mail. Dorrit, the course is awesome. Okay, I'm not going to read all the positive comments, but thank you guys. I'm taking them in. Thank you. Mary, I'm here, not drinking tonight, but we'll have pizza tomorrow. So pizza is a great tomato dish because usually there's tomato sauce involved, unless it's a white pizza. What is that? Like a Neapolitan? I forget which one has no tomato sauce, but it's rare that pizza doesn't have tomato sauce or tomatoes right on it. So that will be relevant for our discussion tonight. Elaine, a good Cabernet Franc for a tomato sauce, but for fresh tomatoes, Sauvignon Blanc all the way. Yes. Donna, my favorite thing about joining tonight is that I knew I could be drinking champagne and I wouldn't be embarrassed about that. What's to be embarrassed about drinking champagne, Donna? Donna, champagne or sparkling wine is a really good pairing for tomatoes. Why? Two things. It's got great acidity, and it's got that swarm of bubbles, that effervescence, that palate cleansing little scrubbers on your tongue. It's great for tomato dishes. I'm so glad you, oh, that's nice. I'm so glad you enjoyed Red, White, and Drunk All Over. That's my book, folks. That's not my memoir. It's a book about wine. But Donna, you should join my free online class, nataliemaclean.com/class. I posted in the comments, so I hope you will join me for one of those sessions, Donna, because I also have an in-depth course that I think you might like, given your comments. Grace, I say champagne goes with everything. I say Grace is right. Mary, yes, we're both in Ottawa. How do I find you? How do I find you? Is it possible? Mary, are you trying to find where I live? So, Mary, you can join my class too. Yeah, so cool that you're here, Mary, that we just connected. But yeah, we're both here in Ottawa. Go figure. Just come to my online class. Okay, let me get on here because I'm going to get back to your comments. So keep the comments coming. Irene, hello. But I want to get through some wines here. So one thing when we're talking about pairing wines with raw tomatoes, not all tomatoes are created equal. I'm going to do a Reserve Sauvignon Blanc from BC next, from Township 7, which is lovely winery. So your varieties like yellow, purple, orange tomatoes tend to be a little softer in this acidity, a little sweeter. So Sauvignon Blanc will still work well, or your Sangiovese, your Pinot Noir, maybe not enough acidity. But as we get into softer acidity, sweeter tastes in our tomatoes, we can also soften the acidity in the wine. So you might move from a Sauvignon Blanc to, I don't know, maybe a Riesling. I know they still have good acidity, but you start to temper that acidity with a little bit of sweetness. Let me try this one. Anybody heard of Township 7 in BC? Very nice. The difference between the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc and that one, that's got a smoky character. So I'm assuming that they've done a little oak aging on this. 100% barrel fermented and aged. Not a little, a lot, but not injudicious. It's still woven beautifully. The smoke and the oak is still woven beautifully with the vibrant fruit, the citrus, the lime zest, that kind of stuff. So it's lovely, very good. But yeah, let me get back to my notes so that I am making sure that I impart juicy, worthwhile tips for you. Yeah, so not all tomatoes are created equally, but also when you've got a dish that has bridging ingredients, so think of a caprese salad, which is tomato, usually buffalo mozzarella, and maybe some basil. Those bridging ingredients of the cheese and the basil, but mostly the cheese, also temper and soften the perception of the acidity in the raw tomatoes. So again, you can start to move away from wines that have bright, edgy, nervy acidity to softer wines. You still need some acidity. You can't get away from it completely. It's not a bad thing, but your range of pairing starts to broaden once you introduce those bridging ingredients. Just like if you have a green salad and it's full of field greens and maybe bitter greens, arugula, whatever, and you put in some bacon bits or whatever, your bacon becomes your bridging ingredient that opens up a lot more pairing possibilities, including into like a Rhone Syrah or whatever. So that's often how to, like, if you're having something and you're like a red wine diehard fan, you don't want white, add a bridging ingredient. All right? Okay. Now let me see. A Chardonnay is not usually what I would think of. I pulled a bunch of wines that came in over the transom today, samples from wineries and agencies. I get wines every day. I've got a 400 bottle backlog to taste. I don't hear any sympathy violins from you, but I hear lots of volunteers wanting to help. Normally, I would not associate a Chardonnay with tomatoes, but maybe a tomato dish. I don't know, maybe ratatouille? I'm not sure. It's a beautiful Chardonnay. Round green apples, a little bit of smoke, and so on. All right, let me come back to you here. You see, people are talking amongst themselves. I love that. When you pick up on somebody else's comment and make a comment on it, that's a conversation. So do that. Pick 3 people, 3 different comments while we're online live here. Comment on their comments. And take a moment, if you will, to share this conversation with your friends and followers. They don't have to join us live, though it's great if they can, but they can always catch the recording, but only if you share it with them. They won't know otherwise. So, and even better, tell them why they might enjoy this. If they love tomato dishes, they love wine, then I'm sure they'd find this valuable. Okay, back to you guys. Wendy drinking Copper Moon Pinot Grigio. What about pairings for, fried green tomatoes? Well, Wendy, glad you asked. So fried green, anything fried, then you've got your Chardonnay, because fried introduces sort of a buttery, rich, fatty kind of flavor, and then you can get into a buttery, richer white wine. Or I would still stick with whites. You could still go with your Sauvignon Blanc to cut through the fat of your fried green tomatoes. But the greenness, the sort of the pungency and the acidity of those green tomatoes are really going to be softened by cooking and especially frying. So I want to hear other people's suggestions too. I'm not a sage, I'm not a sage on the stage, I'm your guide on the side. So I'm here helping you come to your own conclusions, but also helping each other, right? Okay, so jump in these comments, guys. Help Wendy out. Fried green tomatoes, what would you pair with those? Let her know. Have you tried it? Elaine, seeing smoke here in Niagara too. Oh my gosh, my goodness. Oh, Pizza Bianca is the white pizza without the tomato sauce. Thank you, Donna. Joanne, Massi Campifiore, oh yeah, that Italian red in my glass, and had it with pasta with meat sauce. Oh, nice. Yes. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the course, Joanne. Grace is totally right. Champagne goes with everything. Yes, Mary Ellen. Massi Campion. Cam Alexson's in the house enjoying a Torreon de Paradis Carmenere. Is that Chilean? Cam, let us know. With chicken and ham. Now, how do you say that? I've read this word. Jambaila. Okay. I need a pronunciation guide. I'm not even going to try. All right. Michael is in the house. Mike from Waterloo. The rosé from Languedoc. All right. Fresh tomato beefsteak tomatoes, feta cheese, oregano, and live me and company. White balsamic vinegar. Not a great pairing. It's not a great pairing. Oh, explain, please. I want to know why, Mike. Karen, I really need to master that sip, sip, and swish and swallow sniff thing we did in Module 1 without spitting my wine down all the front of me. Let's do a little tutorial, Karen. So, little swish, but of course you could do it on your desk. Flat surface, training wheels swirling. Then poke your beak in there, your nose, right? I'm kind of doing that with the wine in my mouth because it's aerating it. Swallow, breathe out through your nose. The wine does not come out through your nose. That is painful. Okay? Yes, Karen, you are a soldier. You want to help with the backlog. Yes, Dawn. The acidity of the Chardonnay may work with raw tomatoes. Yeah, it's true. Coolio, love this. You guys are on fire. Jambalaya. Thanks, Adele. Jamlia? Oh, no, Jambalaya, Karen. I've got 3 different pronunciations, Joanne. Jambalaya. I feel like, what is that? What was that lady that, the rain in Spain? My Fair Lady. The rain in Spain falls, everyone has to teach me how to pronounce these things. I read 1,000 times more than I speak words that I see. So as a writer, I actually write and read and write far more than I talk. These are my rare opportunities to talk, and then I end up mispronouncing most things and people's names. So forgive me. Peter, leftover sausage, cheddar, jalapeno with oiled and spiced eggplant, zucchini, and grilled tomatoes. Wine would be 2012 Valpolicella because that's what's out. Cool. Tracy, hello. How are you? All right, let's keep moving. I think I have one more white here. I got a Pinot Blanc. Other whites that would be great: Pinot Blanc, Pinot Grigio. What's the unifying factor? They all have terrific acidity. What I think would not work with a lot of tomato dishes are wines without acidity. So I think Gewürztraminer. We often think of it as spice wine, but it really, in most cases, doesn't have a lot of acidity. It's a very round, voluptuous wine with floral, spicy notes, but not a lot of acidity. You need acid to get you through the tomatoes. Get you through. It sounds like a chore. It's not a chore, is it? Eliza Doolittle, my fair lady. There you go. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Oh, Mary's got a pronunciation too. I have a group I call, of about 75 people, I call Wine Lovers for Better Grammar. And they correct every misplaced comma that I make in my newsletter. Thank you very much. But you all could be Wine Lovers for Better Diction. Okay. Michael, the white balsamic vinegar was quite sweet. Rosé did better with just... ... He's keeping us in suspense. This is the Pinot Blanc from Upper Bench in BC. That's nice. I like that. Very balanced. White citrus. White, like also some melon. Good acidity. Not too virulent, but very good. Cool. Mark Davis, a Chilean friend who is in the wine business there, is coming to the States next to bring me some Carmenere. I love it. And I will give him some Napa Cabs. That sounds like a fair exchange. Simple balsamic vinegar dressing by Kraft. Okay, cool, Michael. All right, let's move on. I've got an Italian red. Oh, actually, you know what? I should start with Pinot Noir, because I poured some of it earlier to let it breathe, because I've always found this Cedar Creek from BC just a giant Pinot Noir in a good way. And by the way, folks, it doesn't matter what wines you have. You can learn these tasting principles with me. So don't get caught up in, oh no, I don't have the same wines. I do that for my course students. So after we finish this tasting, my course students and I will move over to our private Facebook group, where we will continue the party and have a guided tasting, and I do prepare a list of wines that they can buy so they are tasting the exact same wines. But I don't want you all to get stressed out if you don't have the same wines. That's okay. Because the purpose of this is more of a freewheeling kind of discussion, get you some learning and tips with pairing different wines. So whereas that is kind of taking it to the next level of, okay, what do we get in these wines? It's not stuffy, but it's a little bit more structured, if you will. And okay, we have the same wines, or maybe similar wines in our glasses. Am I getting the same thing or different? And that's okay. Cedar Creek Pinot Noir. So I poured this out earlier. Let's see what's happening in the glass. I've got my big ass glass. Let's see what's happening with this wine. Lovely cherry berry, dark spice. That's so voluptuous. But I would not put that with raw tomatoes. It does not have enough acidity. I think raw tomatoes would clobber it. I'd rather go with an Italian red, like your Sangiovese, that would be more acidic, or a vibrant white. With this would be beautiful with ratatouille, marinara sauce, some types of pizzas. I think that would be great. Really, really good. And also, guys, if you want to make sure that you catch all these tastings, as I said, they're every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. I've got a really nifty tool. I'm posting the link now. It's an online calendar tool where you just click and it will add these tastings to your calendar every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it'll tell you the theme of the wines we're tasting so you don't forget. And it's a little bit of a reminder about the tasting if you want to catch these live. And then, and you can unfollow the calendar or erase it anytime. It's super easy. But I also have one for my course students, the more guided tastings, and I'll post that as a separate calendar. And we always do different wines in our course tastings right after this. So make sure, I know a lot of my students are here right now. Make sure you've subscribed to this calendar, have it on your calendar. Subscribe to both so that you have both events on your calendars. And one more thing for you all, it's free. The Unreserved Wine Talk podcast is an excellent way to learn about wine. You can listen to it on my website, or if you listen to podcasts, you can subscribe wherever you hear podcasts. And I cover a whole range of topics. And I have to just put in a little short mention that the New York Times selected as one of the 7 best drinks podcasts in August. So, yay, give it a shot, right? That's all I can say. All right, back to you. Let's see what you are saying. Natalie, what would be good wine to have with pizza tomorrow night? So you have to tell me what type of pizza, Mary. Okay? I love big ass glasses, Mary Ellen. I actually bought some from Bed Bath & Beyond. They each hold a 750 ml. So you can pour an entire bottle of wine in your glass. You know, you can polish off the glass, and then you can use that big bowl glass, Mary Ellen, to have a facial afterwards. You can pull it with hot water. No, don't do that. But some of these glasses are so huge. Oh, look at all you guys. 40 Knots Estate Winery has gorgeous tasting room with a view of the vineyards. Oh, that's where you were in BC. Really enjoyed all the whites and reds. Meritage. Oh, some good notes here from Lori if you're visiting BC wine country. All the wine countries, regions need your support. They really do, because, again, you know, COVID is still, fortunately, going on, and they've lost a lot of business from their restaurant customers. A lot of these wineries are too small to be in the liquor store chain, so they depend on direct customer sales. So do go local. Try to visit wine country and buy local. All right, Elaine in Calgary, you betcha, girl. You catch up on the replay, but stay with us. You love Meritage too. Excellent. Oh, you guys are chatting. Good. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so glad you find the calendar helpful, Karen. Yeah, I like the calendar too. I discovered it through another online course that I'm taking. Not a wine course, but how meta is this? A course on how to teach courses online. But I just find, you know, clicking and adding to it is awesome, because if I change a date or I change a theme of the tastings, it automatically updates in your calendar, whether you use Outlook or Yahoo or Google Calendar or all the other online calendars. You've got it right there. Hawaiian pizza pairing, Jessica Catherine is asking. Jessica Catherine, where are you logging in from, my dear? And what's in your glass? So, I love Hawaiian pizza, but it is a huge challenge when it comes to wine. Why? Can you tell me why? The pineapple is so sweet. So, you need a wine that has sweetness and acidity. What would that be? Riesling! Riesling is your friend with Hawaiian pizza. But what if you like only reds? Then I would go with a light red like Pinot Noir or Gamay. All right, Jessica Catherine, let me know if that helps. Thank you, Cynthia. Allison is here. Allison is my brilliant editor. All right, she's here. Hi, Allison. She just moved houses, so she's settling in. Coolio. Darren is in the house. Darren, one of our frontline healthcare workers from Northern Ontario. How does Gamay fare with tomatoes? I imagine it would be similar vein to Pinot Noir. You're right. So Gamay and Pinot Noir, quick little lesson in Burgundy in France. Pinot Noir is the hoity-toity, expensive red wine of Northern Burgundy, And the southern part of Burgundy is Beaujolais, and Gamay is the grape. That's your benchmark. But of course, Gamay and Pinot Noir are made around the world. We do both very well in Ontario, BC. But yes, Darren, that's a long-winded answer to your question. Gamay would fare very similarly. Gamay has a softer profile often, in terms of acidity, but it has more rounder cherry berry flavors. So it actually might be even friendlier with some tomato dishes. Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Oh, you listen while you're gardening. That's why I love podcasts. You can do their background. They're like wallpaper for your mind, right? You can do other things. As I have always said, you can walk the gerbil, do gardening like Michael does, laundry, dishes, whatever, and be listening and learning at the same time. I love that Pinot. I do not want to dump it. Anyway. Preach, yes. Donna Whitaker's in the house. We live in Ohio, and we still can't travel to Canada. This is the first summer in many years that we've not visited the wineries in Ontario, but we are also running out of our favorite Ontario wines. Gotta fix that, Donna. Hey, Villis is here, sipping on Gruner Veltliner. Lens Mosier, that's a great label. And you know what? Thank you for bringing this up. Gruner Veltliner and Vino Verde, but Gruner Veltliner from Austria and Vino Verde from northern Portugal, both zesty, crisp white wines that go really, really well with tomato dishes. Okay, Julie Gradwell is here. Hello, Julie. I'm so glad you're here. Replying to somebody else? All right, so I tasted the premium. Now, this is not what you should do. Now I'm tasting the other Cedar Creek, which is not their reserve. So you don't do what I do. Just do what I say. You should always taste up. So go from entry-level wine to premium wine, but I just happen to have the premium one in the glass already. I wonder why. Okay, so here is... The difference on the nose is that, and this often happens with like not the entry level, but not the flagship, is that it tends to be more fruit forward, ready to drink now, and that's definitely the case. I'm getting bigger, bolder cherry berry notes off this wine versus more of a understated elegance, subtlety from the reserve. Very nice. That's non-spittable. Technical term. Yes, for sure, Donna. Gruner Veltliner with tomato. It's the basic concept of the acidity. Time is flying. I have got to wrap this up. I do not want to, but I have got to meet my course students over in the private Facebook group. One more thing for you. I am doing a lot more now on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, please come join me there. I'm even doing a few lives over there, but the only way you're going to know is if you connect with me, so I've just posted that link too. So guys, I love this. Please subscribe to the calendar so we're always in contact, in touch, and you join me on future tastings. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. I can't even remember the theme, but if you subscribe to that calendar, you'll know. And if you don't have an online calendar, bookmark the link that I just put into the comments, because it will at least tell you what are the themes. And again, if you're not in my world yet as a course student, just go to nataliemaclean.com/class, take a free online class, and you'll find out what it's all about and continue the party with us. All right, I love this. It just goes by like that. I don't know how these go so fast. I guess I'm just talking a mile a minute here. But take care. Course students, get yourselves over to the private Facebook group because we are going to be reviewing and talking about the newest Ontario wines and vintages. So that'll be fun. Julie, thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. All right. Cheers to you all. You are away in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, so I don't even know my own schedule, except if I look at the calendar. Right, Michael? So I put that in too. In 2 weeks I'm away, so I put that. I try not to miss sessions, but I also have a life. A little life when I talk about social life. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Love you too. And I will see you in a bit. All right.